Good evening, everyone. We'll wait for 5 minutes before we begin our session as some more people are joining in. So we'll start in just 5 minutes from now. Okay. I think we have enough participants to start the session. So good evening and welcome everyone to yet another session from Bondbazaar, where every week we are trying to bring to our investors, our partners and affiliates, what is the kind of fixed income investment instruments available in the market which you can invest in a regulatorily compliant way, and what are the benefits, what are the features of those investments. So continuing with this trend, today we are going to cover yet another fixed income investment, which is sovereign gold bonds. Many of you would be familiar, but we will go with a flow where we will explain the features, explain the benefits, and we will also show some examples of how this is beneficial for investment. And finally, we will also take you how Bond Bazaar can help you buy this sovereign gold bonds at the click of a button. I am joined by my colleague Ria and Rishikesh, who have helped me in putting the presentation. So thanks to them. And now I'll ask them to just help me maneuver the slides. Here, please. Yeah. So first is, what is sovereign gold bonds? So sovereign gold bonds is basically an instrument issued by the Reserve Bank of India, where they have converted physical gold holdings into digital gold holdings held by the investor. Now, as Indians, we always have an affection for investing in gold, which has primarily be for consumption as well as protection against unforeseen investments, and also to help us maneuver or monetize in case of any kind of requirements. Basically, it's a very proven and solid asset class, and Indians like to invest a lot into physical gold. Now, the problem with physical gold is that India does not manufacture gold and or mine gold. It comes from outside, and for importing gold, you need a lot of foreign exchange reserves, which leads to outflow of foreign exchange currency from India to other countries which are manufacturing gold. So Government of India took an initiative to convert physical gold into digital gold instruments. So basically, digital gold instruments are instruments which retains all the features of physical gold, but at the same time, it is issued in a bond format into your demat account. So it is not something which you need to keep in a safe deposit vault, or you need to keep in your almirah, or somewhere safe and secure. It is issued in a demat form, which is already a secured investment where you keep your shares or other kind of financial instruments like bonds. Similarly, it is being issued in a digital gold format. Now, how is it issued? If you see, when we buy gold, we buy in grams of gold, like 1 gram, 2 gram, 10 gram, 100 grams, and so on. Similarly, these certificates are also issued in grams. So ये हमें grams मिलते हैं, 1 gram, 2 gram, 5 gram, or 10 gram. So whenever you go want to buy sovereign gold bond, the price of a sovereign gold bond is denominated in 1 gram of gold. 1 gram of gold के denomination में उनका price होता है, and so on so forth. Uh, it can be easily bought and sold on the exchange. So NSE, BSE, these are the two exchanges which we have for trading of shares and other fixed income investment instruments, which almost everyone on our platform is familiar with. Similarly, sovereign gold bonds also can be easily bought and sold on the NSE and BSE through our demat and trading account. Minimum investment, I told you, is 1 gram of gold. Today, the price of gold ballpark is around 6,000 per gram. Maximum, an individual can buy 4 kg, and a trust is another entity which is non-individual entity, can buy 20 kg. This is something which is stipulated by RBI, but this is a very large denomination, which is which very few HNIs or large corporates only buy. So this is a very large outer side which has been kept for investment amount. Next slide, please. Now who can invest in sovereign gold bond? कौन इसमें invest कर सकते हैं? इसमें सब invest कर सकते हैं, individuals as well as non-individuals. So in individuals, definitely you have your demat and trading account, you can invest in sovereign gold bond. Similarly, HUF, which are Hindu undivided families, they can invest. Corporates can invest. Companies, private limited and public limited companies, वो invest कर सकते हैं. Trust and charitable institutions भी invest कर सकते हैं. Next slide. तो इसके फायदे क्या है? What are the benefits of investing in SGBs over physical gold? This is a question we often get from investors. Ki why sovereign gold bonds? Why not physical gold bonds? So we have jotted down 6 key advantages. First advantage is on sovereign gold bonds. You are earning an interest rate of 2.5% per annum every 6 months on face value. When I say face value का मतलब जिस प्राइस पे आपको गोल्ड बॉन्ड इशू हुआ था. फॉर एग्जाम्पल टुडे इफ द सोवरेन गोल्ड बॉन्ड इज इशूड बाय द रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, इट वुड बी इशूड एट अ फेस वैल्यू ऑफ 6,000 रुपीज विच इज प्राइस ऑफ 1 ग्राम. सो आपको इंटरेस्ट रेट 2.5% उस पर मिलेगा फॉर 5 years, extending up to 8 years, which is the period for which sovereign gold bond is can be kept. After that it gets redeemed. So that is one advantage. Second, when RBI issues sovereign gold bond, it provides an additional discount of 50 rupees on the market price of the gold when you buy the sovereign gold bond. So that is an additional discount available. Now compare it when you go to a jewelry shop to buy gold. आपको एक markup देना पड़ता है. So suppose the market price of the gold is 6,000. The jeweler will ask you certain markup which can vary from 1% to 5% depending on the jewelry shop you go. That markup is basically charges for his services, where he's procuring gold, he's storing gold and doing other services for you. So here you don't need to pay any charges. In fact, you get a discount of 50 rupees. No making charges. Of course, if you prepare jewelry, you have to pay 10 to 20% of value of gold as making charges. There's no making charges here. No GST on SGB. So when you go and buy physical gold, there's a GST applicable, which is goods and service tax. Earlier, jo sales tax hota tha, now it is goods and service tax. So there is no GST applicable on SGB. Held in demat form. So these are held in dematerialized form. So there are no locker charges, no theft risk, no maintenance cost which you need to incur by holding the SGB form. It can easily be bought and sold on the exchange, जैसे मैंने कहा था. So these are the key benefits which clearly outweigh the benefits of holding SGB over physical gold. Now next slide please. Taxation. अब हम taxation की बात करें, since there are various forms of income you make on SGBs or physical gold. So let us talk about interest income. Interest income is something which you don't earn on physical gold, but you are earning 2.5% interest income on sovereign gold bond every year. Now, how is this interest income taxable? इस पे कोई TDS deduct नहीं होता है. There is no TDS which is deducted by RBI when interest is credited to your account. You get the entire interest. Unlike in case of FDs or bonds, when interest is credited to your account, there is a certain percentage, generally 10% TDS, which is applicable, which is deducted and deposited with the income tax authorities, which you can claim at the time of filing your tax return. But here, it is entirely credited to your account. There is no TDS which is deducted. Now, how is interest income taxable in the hands of individual? It is taxable at your slab rate. तो अगर आपका slab rate 10% है, तो आप 10% पे tax pay कर रहे हो. If it is 30%, you are paying at 30% and so on. Capital gains. Now comes capital gains. So when we sell this SGBs, so whatever SGBs we are holding in dematerialized form, either we sell it on the exchange whenever we need money. Now, when we sell it on the exchange, there are two kinds of capital gains which can accrue depending on the tenure for which we have hold the gold. So अगर आपने एक साल से कम gold hold किया है, it becomes a short-term capital gain for you, which is taxable at again the slab rate applicable to you. But if you have held the gold for more than 1 year, it becomes long-term capital gain for you, which is taxable at the rate of 10%. Another added advantage of investing in sovereign gold bonds, which is not applicable in any other fixed income investment instrument, is that there is a complete exemption on capital gain tax on redemption if held until maturity. So maturity of gold bonds क्या होता है, इसके बारे में बात करते हैं. So sovereign gold bonds are issued by RBI for a minimum tenure of 5 years, extending up to 8 years. Now what happens at the end of 5 years also you can redeem. So you have a discretion to redeem, but if you want to keep it for 8 years, you can do so. So every 6 months after 5 years, Reserve Bank of India provides you a window that you can go to Reserve Bank of India and say that I want to redeem this sovereign gold bonds. Reserve Bank of India will pay you back. So, you get 6 redemption windows between 5 years to 8 years. And depending on whenever the gold price is beneficial, you can exit at that point of time by redeeming the sovereign gold bonds with the RBI. Now, when you redeem your sovereign gold bonds at that point of time with RBI and not on exchange, you don't have to pay any capital gain tax. Okay, I hope I am clear. Okay. Next is taxation of secondary market SGBs. Now, just to simplify, secondary market SGBs क्या होते हैं जो आप exchange में खरीदते हैं. Primary market SGBs क्या होते हैं जो आप when RBI issues. So RBI issues SGBs every 2 to 3 months as per their calendar. So आप RBI से अगर डायरेक्ट लेते हैं तो उसको हम प्राइमरी मार्केट एसजीबी बोलते हैं, और अगर आप एसजीबी एक्सचेंज से ले रहे हैं तो सेकेंडरी मार्केट एसजीबी बोलते हैं. तो सेकेंडरी मार्केट एसजीबी क्या है? शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन टैक्स. शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन टैक्स अप्लाइज इफ यू सेल द बॉन्ड विद इन 1 year, और उस पर आपको इनकम टैक्स स्लैब लगता है जो मैंने कहा था. और लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन में आपको 10% लगता है विदाउट इंडेक्सेशन, 10-20% विद इंडेक्सेशन फॉर 1 year. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. You have any questions? Yeah. So we have one short question or poll for you guys. So we'll just cover that. Okay, some guys want us to go a bit slow. So yeah, we'll go a bit slow. Point taken. Okay. Poll question. Okay. Okay, that will come. Now, how SGB trading works? So all the secondary SGBs can be purchased from our Bondbazaar terminal. अभी हम आपको टर्मिनल का भी एक डेमो दिखाएंगे that how you can go and purchase SGBs on our terminal, but it can be very easily and conveniently purchased on Bondbazaar terminal. Now, what are the steps we have just detailed? I will cover. So first of all, आपको Bondbazaar में login करना. You have to log in to Bondbazaar, and there are 3 tabs which you see when you log into Bondbazaar. So can you show the terminal? I think we'll just display the terminal for better clarity. Yeah. So this is the terminal we see when we log into bondbazaar.com. I hope everyone has an account with Bondbazaar, and if not, I will request every one of you to please go to bondbazaar.com. Do a very simple sign-in process, which includes KYC, because we have to do KYC as we are, SEBI compliant entity, and then you can see this entity. So you can see 3 tabs here: GSEC, corporate bonds, SGB, and ETF. So when you click on SGB, you can see whole lot of sovereign gold bonds available, which has been issued by Reserve Bank of India from time to time. Now I will explain you features of each of the sovereign gold bond by taking one of them. So let's take the first one, which is SGB August 28. So when you click on this here, it takes you into a different window. Now, so first is the IN. If you see the ISI number, which is there, IN, this is a unique number given for any fixed income investment instrument. Now, on overview, what you have: coupon rate. Coupon rate is interest rate which you are receiving, which is 2.5% per annum. Then issue price. Now, this instrument was issued in August 2023. At that time, the issue price for this 1 gram of sovereign gold bond was fixed at 5,334 rupees by Reserve Bank of India. So you bought the bond at this price, 1 gram of gold. Issue date was 11th August 2020. So it was issued in 2020, not 23. My bad, because 8 years is counted, not 5 years. Now, redemption date. The first redemption date applicable here is 11th February 2026, and then in every 6 months thereafter, with the final date of maturity being 11th August 2028. So residual tenure. What is the residual tenure? Means tenure from today till August 28, it is 4 years, 9 months, and 10 days. Interest payment frequency semi-annually. On the right side, you can see the cash flow of SGBs, how this SGB's cash flow works. In 2024, what is the cash flow you will receive in terms of interest or redemption amount, and so on. 11th August 2028, we have shown the final redemption. Now, if you go up, you can go to buy and sell window. So you can see buy and sell window here. So when we click on buy window, so this is what we see. So this is just like, when we go to buy any equity, for example, ICICI Bank, or you go to buy any bond of SDFC Bank or any bond whatsoever. So we are seeing the price here, which is latest traded price is 5977. Latest traded price, which is 5977. Now this 5977 includes clean price and accrued interest. Accrued interest is whatever interest is accrued and so on. ये आपको 2.24 की yield पे मिल रहा है. Now you can very well go down and buy now. When we click on buy now, we can't click right now here because we are out of market hours. But when you click buy now, you can just place your order seamlessly. Similarly, you can sell this bond also on the exchange. You can go back to the slide. So guys, we are having a lot of questions and we will have sufficient time for question answers. So I'll just quickly finish the presentation in another 5 minutes and then we will take up all the questions. Next. So yield computation, we saw that वहाँ पे yield लिखा था 2.27 when we saw the terminal, but interest is 2.5. So why there is a difference in yield? Difference in yield is only because current price is different from the issue price. So जो current yield हमारा compute होता है, ये जो interest हमें मिलेगा और आज का gold price के ऊपर है. That's why you will see yield which is different from 2.5. In today's market, since gold is higher, we see yield as a lower figure than 2.5. अगर gold price गिरा होता तो आप 2.5 से ज्यादा का yield देख पाते हैं यहाँ पे. So that is the yield calculation, and which we have computed at our back end through calculator, and you can be rest assured that it's a correct computation. Frequency of issuance, तो जैसा मैंने कहा RBI every 2 or 3 months ये SGBs issue करता है. Last issuance happened in September 2023, priced at ₹5,920. Next slide please. एक एग्जाम्पल है जो हमने किया है कि yield compute कैसे होता है. So here in this example you can see the total price is 5975 and the clean price is 5939. So yield is always computed on the clean price. So yield is calculated as 120, which is the interest to be received in 1 year in this sovereign gold bond and divided by the clean price. तो आपको yield मिलता है 2.02. ठीक है, next slide. Trade example. Now this we just covered, so I think we can move to next page. Yeah. Assuming we are selling the bond today, so suppose कि जो SGB हमने 1 साल पहले लिया था वो अगर आज हम सेल करते हैं तो जस्ट हमने एक एग्जांपल बनाया कि हाउ द रिटर्न्स लुक लाइक. सो सपोज ये SGB है जिसका ISIN ये है IN00 and so on. Interest rate is 2.5 and issue price is 4807. Okay. Now आज का बाइंग डेट अपना है 1 नवंबर 2022. सो 1 नवंबर 2022 को हमने 1 ग्राम गोल्ड बाई किया एट अ प्राइस ऑफ 5069. ठीक है, 5069 रुपीज का आउटफ्लो हुआ, हमने गोल्ड बाई किया. इस पे कोई ट्रांजेक्शन चार्जेस नहीं है. देयर आर माइनर स्टैम्प ड्यूटी चार्जेस व्हिच कैन बी 1 or 1.5 रुपीज चार्ज बाय एक्सचेंज. नथिंग चार्ज बाय बॉन्ड बाजार व्हेन यू बाई फ्रॉम बॉन्ड बाजार टर्मिनल. नाउ इंटरेस्ट कितना है? So 21/2023 को मुझे इंटरेस्ट मिला 60 रुपीज बेस्ड ऑन 2.5% ऑफ इशू प्राइस. 27/2023 को I again got an interest of 60 rupees. And suppose on 1st November 2023, I required some money and sold it on Bond Bazaar terminal at 6135, which was the price prevailing of this bond. Now, अपना रिटर्न्स कितना हो गया? 22.85. Now, how is this return computed? Return is computed as total interest, which is 60 plus 60, 120, plus difference between buying price and selling price. So, if you see buying price is 5069, selling price is 6135. So, the difference is around 1000 rupees. So, total returns, if you would have invested 1 year back in gold, today is 22.85. However, this returns is not a guarantee that you will make same returns in future. Returns vary depending on gold price movement. But at the same time, yeah. So this 34.24 is, there's a question, what is 34.24? So, when we buy gold at a particular date, which is 1/11/2022, तो ये गोल्ड का इंटरेस्ट हमें 20 जनवरी को मिल रहा है और हमें पूरा इंटरेस्ट उसी को मिलता है जिसके पास बॉन्ड उस दिन है. लेकिन मान लीजिए जिस बायर से हम बॉन्ड परचेस कर रहे हैं, द पर्सन फ्रॉम होम वी आर बाइंग द बॉन्ड, ही हैज होल्ड द गोल्ड फॉर 4 months फ्रॉम 27/2021 टिल 30 October 2022. तो जो उसके होल्डिंग पीरियड है उसका इंटरेस्ट भी हमें पे करना पड़ता है. So what we are paying is the clean price 5069 plus interest for the holding period for which the buyer has held the bonds, because total interest हमें मिलता है, total interest buyer को मिलता है, तो seller को हम बाकी का interest pay करते हैं. So this is 34 rupees interest which is paid to the seller for holding the bonds for 4 months, because at the end of 6 months we are getting the entire interest. So this is the interest which rightfully belongs to the seller, which buyer is paying over and above the buy price. So ये हमने computation में ले लिया है for computing returns. I hope I am clear here. Next slide. So future outlook and market trends. So future of SGB certainly look promising. There has been a lot of SGBs issued by the government since the time they started, and they are issuing 4 to 6 SGBs every year. So you can rest assured that there will be sufficient liquidity, and liquidity is only growing in this market. As awareness is improving among customers that okay, physical gold say better is sovereign gold because of the benefits which we have exhibited to you, we are seeing the demand for sovereign gold bonds is growing manifold in this industry. Now, government's commitment to have innovation, investor friendly policies ensure कि हमें इस तरह की अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलती रहे सोवरेन गोल्ड मार्केट में, और ट्रेडिंग भी इंप्रूव होती रहे. विद दिस आई जस्ट एंड द प्रेजेंटेशन एंड विल बी ओपन फॉर क्वेश्चंस. So we'll take the questions one by one. So the first question is from Neeraj Kulkarni. He's asking what amount is paid at the time of redemption of SGBs, how maturity amount is decided. Yeah. So see, जैसे issue price decide होता है, the way in which issue price is decided by the government, which is based on the market price minus 50 rupees discount which government is providing right now when we subscribe to the SGB. Similarly, at the time of maturity, the market value of gold on the previous day is taken into account by the Reserve Bank of India, and that is fixed as the redemption amount for 1 gram of gold. So that is how maturity amount is decided. Maturity amount cannot be fixed upfront. I hope I am clear, Neeraj. Capital gain tax in SGB. So again, a capital gain tax SGB is very clear. There are actually 3 variants. First is short-term capital gain. Second is long-term capital gain. Short-term capital gain is applicable when you are holding SGBs for less than 1 year. When you sell SGBs in less than 1 year, you are taxable at your applicable tax slab. So suppose if you are paying 30% income tax rate, तो आपको 30% tax लगेगा. If you are paying 10% tax rate, तो 10% tax लगेगा, and so on. If you are holding it for more than 1 year and you are redeeming on maturity with Reserve Bank of India, you don't need to pay any long-term capital gain tax. Zero long-term capital gain tax. If you are holding it for 1 year, but you are selling before maturity in the market on exchange, then there's a 10% long-term capital gain applicable on your income. Basically gain, whatever gain you make on the sale of SGBs. Hope I am clear, Imtiaz. Now, next question is from Sandeep. Not clear about redemption with RBI and related taxes. I think we just covered. What is 3.24? Because when I open SGB, I see a lot of how do I pick one from the lot? Yeah. So see, how do you pick one from the lot is depending on, so all SGBs, the features are same. You will get the maturity, like the interest rate is same. But the interest amount can vary depending on the issue amount. That's why the yield is there. So I think the first filter which you can apply is the yield. So on our platform, you can apply an yield filter. There's a downward filter on yield. So highest yield product is something which you can buy. Second, if you depending on your holding period. So suppose you want to invest in gold for only 1 year, and some people might want to invest in gold for 5 years. So depending on your tenure, again, you can filter and invest. So these are the 2 filters which generally people use for investing in SGBs, or selecting the SGBs which fit for them. Suppose someone has invested through bank, is it possible to transfer those investment to Bondbazaar account? Yes. So if you have invested through bank and it is lying in your Demat account, you can transfer into your Bondbazaar Demat account. In case, we have also seen some cases where people have got physical certificates because they didn't have Demat account. So in case you have physical certificates, you need to dematerialize it and then transfer it to your Bondbazaar account. So yeah, but if it is already in Demat form, you just need to transfer, and steps for that are again on our website, or you can just call customer support and we'll be happy to support you in getting it transferred. It's a very, very easy process. Maturity is tax free if it's bought from secondary market. Yeah. So if you are redeeming directly with the government of India, then maturity is tax free. But yeah, then it is tax free. But if you are selling it again in the secondary market, then it's not tax free. What aspects we just covered? Will there be a risk of capital loss if the market price? So yes, yes, Preeti, there can be a risk of capital loss if the market price of gold declines, because this is just like any other asset. So suppose today the gold price is 6,000, but when you are going to redeem it, the price becomes 4,000. Then you can have a capital loss. But the good thing here is, you are getting six redemption windows between 5 year and 8 year. So we have not seen a situation, in long time, for decades, where gold price have remained below the issue price for a consecutive period of 3 to 4 years. So the chances of having a risk of capital loss is lesser. But having said that, there can be a situation where there can be a capital loss if the price of gold declines. But we have generally seen gold always, is a very solid and fundamental asset, which keeps rising as per the inflation rates, and little bit more than the inflation always. The slides were flipped. Sorry, Smita, I think we are here. But we can share the slides with you, Smita. So whoever wants, you can just let us know, provide your email ID. We can share the entire presentation. And in case there's any doubt, I am available, or people from our team will be available to explain you further. We have one more question. If I buy SGB during its second to sixth year and gets it renewed, yeah, yeah, that is applicable. That's what our reading of tax regulation is. But see, before taking any, we are not tax advisors, so you should really consult your CEO tax advisor for tax clarity. This is based on our interpretation that if you buy SGB from secondary market and redeem it directly with government, it is capital gain should be exempt. However, there has been an other parallel view or other interpretation also, where people say that it is only exempt when you buy in the primary space. So this is something I think you can consult your tax advisor and take a view on. Neeraj has one more question. How might the choice between SG impact and investors' financial portfolio? Uh, see, ultimately, as I say, physical gold and SGBs all have same features, but with few differences. Differences is one, that SGBs are issued in demat form, so that doesn't impact finances. But at the same time, there's an interest payment which is made on SGBs, but you don't get any interest on physical gold. So that is one clear added advantage, which added financial advantage which you get every year. Second, you can easily sell SGBs at the prevailing market price on the exchange, or when the RBI calls for redemption on the scheduled redemption date. But when you go to sell physical gold with your jeweler or to any other guy who offers to buy physical gold, there's a certain markdown to the market price, depending on what best deal you can get. So that's the difference, and that's how your financial portfolio is impacted. Otherwise, rest all things remain the same. Yeah. uh, Final question we are taking from Sandeep: will our designated bank account get directly credited on redemption of any proceeds on I'm not sure, but I think the question is whether your designated bank account will directly get credited on redemption. So we understand yes. So whatever is your designated bank account, that will get credited on redemption. You don't need to do any other process or provide a new bank account. Thanks everyone for joining us on Thursday evening. Hope this session was useful. Please feel to provide feedback. We will improve. We have taken one feedback that the slides went really fast, so that is something we'll like to improve next time. But meantime, we will be circulating this PPT to everyone whoever wants it, and we are happy to have any questions going forward. So bye. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Goodbye.